And we're live. So with that, Troy Bailey, I'd kick it to you for to get the meeting started.
Very good. I will call the Lancaster County Merit Commission meeting to order, being done by Zoom and viewing available via YouTube. I will note that there's a copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act located on the wall near the rear of the hearing room 112. These materials can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. First item is approval of February 25th, 2020 minutes. Mike, Troy, have you had an opportunity to review those?
Yes.
I've had an opportunity. I was not here for that meeting, though.
Oh, that is correct. So, Mike, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
I will second that, and all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved. And it says we need to elect a chairperson, which currently is me, and I suppose as far as I know, in the past, it's always been the deputy sheriff that has been representing the FOP Lodge. However, if either of you are just jumping up and down to have it, I would let you take it.
I would make a motion to renominate and appoint Troy to that position.
Second.
Troy Bailey, not Troy Hall.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Staffing updates. I will turn that over to the sheriff.
Okay. Let's see. We have one deputy right now in the academy, and I don't know, Drew or John, you can give us an update on how that's going with the COVID-19 restrictions and those kinds of things. We are anticipating some openings relatively quickly. The first is Captain Josh Clark is resigning effective Friday, this coming Friday, the 12th. He's accepted a position working for Owen Yardley. If you all remember Owen, Owen is now the chief of security for OPPD, and Josh is going to be like his deputy director of OPPD. So good for Josh, great opportunity for him. Sad for us, we're sorry to see him go, but so with that gives us pause to reconsider our organizational structure, whether we keep 5 captains and go ahead and do the captain's promotion and then a subsequent sergeant's promotion, or do we restructure, perhaps go with a civilian manager similar to the county attorney's office, Mike, with a civilian manager in charge of the support staff, or some hybrid thereof. And John is preparing a survey monkey to go to the employees to see kind of what they're thinking, any input that they might have about any potential restructuring and how that should look. So we're looking at all of those things with Josh's vacancy coming up. We've had another deputy who's indicated he's going to retire the 1st of next year. And while I haven't gotten an official letter from him, I'm anticipating that right after the 1st of the year. So we'll probably be looking at trying to hire in advance of his departure if I get a letter of resignation or retirement, and go from there. So is there another vacancy I'm forgetting? Okay.
Nothing active right now, Sheriff. No.
Okay. So those are the 2 openings that we currently have. You want to dig a little deeper on our trainee at Grand Island, John? I can't even remember his name.
I'll let Drew speak to the training at Grand Island. And then Drew also just has an update for the commission regarding some of our efforts with with hiring. And I'll let him speak to that.
Yep. Riley Levine is currently at the academy. They had some issues early on with the COVID scare of possibly locking them down while they were out there the entire time and keeping them out there. But they've lifted those lockdown restrictions, so they're allowed to go home to their families on the weekends and then go through a pretty rigorous screening on the way back. So as far as I know, nobody out there currently is positive for COVID, so we should be good on that. He's enjoying it. It's a little bit different given the current pandemic we're in. They're restricted to just the academy out there, and they can't leave to go to town or anything.
And I'll interrupt Drew for just a second, because I should have made a more formal introduction. If you guys don't know Sergeant Drew Bolzer, he took over for Sergeant Chad Bryant in April. So Drew is our new personnel sergeant. So sorry, Drew.
Nice to meet you all.
You too.
Also, we obviously, you guys know that nationwide, the trend right now is law enforcement is down on applications nationwide. People just don't want to get into this profession like they used to. So we've had to get pretty creative in how we're going out, reaching out, getting good candidates that become lifelong Lancaster County Sheriff's deputies. And one of those is we've worked with a company here in Lincoln called Zell, and they're HR consulting company that specifically worked with Union Bank or as part of Union Bank to address some needs that they had, which were very similar to ours. And John and Chad had reached out to them prior to my arrival here, but they came up with two different options for us. We narrowed that down to option one, which is basically a marketing and recruiting strategy that allows us to go out there and hopefully get a lot more quality candidates and have a clear plan and how we're going forward with that. We're still kind of in the infancy stages of that, but that's the direction we're going in at this point in time.
So we're looking at seeking some funding here in the coming months, potentially forfeited assets that might help fund that. Zell is a company that I've mentioned to you guys in the past. We looked at a number of different ones here locally. Zell has an established relationship with the county and the sheriff's office. Actually, the support services division has used them for some onboarding and other improvements with civilian personnel. So we feel that at least for the narrow scope of developing more of a recruiting plan and helping direct our marketing dollars in areas that make sense is maybe a good way to get started. So that's something that we're going to try and do in the coming months prior to the next hiring phase.
Okay, thank you. Any questions in that regard? Okay.
I don't know if this is quite on tap with that. You're talking about, we've known that it's harder for you to recruit. Do you see anything going on with very, very recent events with keeping people on your force?
Well, we have not. I am aware of a Lincoln police officer who was, if you're familiar with their drop program, if you're eligible for retirement, then you can be in a drop program for up to 5 years. And he worked Saturday night and Sunday said, you know what, I'm done. Announced his retirement and was out of here on Tuesday. So we have not experienced that. However, it would not surprise me if those employees who are eligible for retirement would say, you know what, I've had enough. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Or I have added to a couple of my email responses to people who are suggesting change within law enforcement that they apply. Haven't got any response on that yet, but I have included that in my response. So might be a good recruiting tool. I don't know. That's all I have for staffing updates.
Okay, is there any other new business that anybody wants to bring up?
I have none.
If not, does Tammy want to schedule the next meeting now?
I had left my calendar actually in Captain Vic's office for it. We've been doing them about every 3 months or so. So do we want to shoot for, say, September 8th? That'd be the second Tuesday in September.
Works for me.
That works for me.
I'm open that day.
Okay. We'll pencil it in.
And with that, if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to dismiss.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. And meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep,
Did
have a
we
good
say
one.
September 2nd, Tammy, for that next meeting?
September 8th.
September 8th, okay. Got you.
Okay.
Get it on the calendar now.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.